The rain was coming down in sheets, a relentless, drumming beat against the window panes that perfectly mirrored the storm inside me. Each drop seemed to wash away another sliver of color from the world, leaving everything in shades of gray. I felt hollowed out, a ghost haunting the edges of my own life. The city lights, usually a vibrant tapestry, were just blurry smudges through the rain-streaked glass. It felt like the whole world was weeping, and I was just one small, insignificant part of its sorrow. I don't know why I went out. Maybe staying in felt like admitting defeat, like letting the four walls of my apartment become my tomb. So I grabbed my coat, not bothering with an umbrella, and stepped out into the cold water was a shock, plastering my hair to my forehead and seeping into my collar. I walked without a destination, my feet moving on autopilot, each step a heavy, squelching sound on the slick pavement. The streets were mostly empty, just the occasional car hissing by, its headlights cutting fleeting tunnels through the darkness. I found myself under the dim, flickering light of an old bus stop, the kind with a scratched-up plastic shelter that offered more illusion of cover than actual protection. The bench was damp, but I sank onto it anyway, the cold seeping through my clothes. I buried my face in my hands, trying to block out the world, trying to find a single point of light in the overwhelming darkness. It was one of those moments where you feel so utterly alone, you're not even sure you exist anymore. That's when I heard it. A voice, calm and steady, cutting through the rhythm of the rain. A rough night to be out without a proper coat. I looked up, startled. A figure was standing just outside the shelter, holding a large, old-fashioned black umbrella. I couldn't make out their face clearly in the gloom, just a silhouette against the distant, hazy glow of the city. They weren't threatening, just there. Yeah, well, I mumbled, my voice rough. It sort of fits the mood. The stranger stepped closer, extending the umbrella so it covered the both of us. Now, I could see them a bit better. It was a person of indeterminate age, with kind eyes that seemed to hold a deep, ancient wisdom. They wore a simple, dark trench coat, and their face was lined with what looked like laugh lines, even though they weren't smiling. "Sometimes the storm outside is easier to face than the one within," they said softly. Their voice was like warm honey, soothing and gentle. It wasn't pitying, just understanding. I just nodded, unable to form a reply. It was true. I'd been running from my own thoughts for weeks, months even. The silence stretched between us, but it wasn't awkward. It was comfortable, filled only by the patter of rain on the umbrella above us. "You look like you've lost your map," the stranger observed. I let out a short, bitter laugh. Map? I think I've lost the whole compass. I'm not even sure what direction I'm supposed to be going in anymore. The direction doesn't matter so much when you've forgotten the destination, they replied, their gaze steady. Or perhaps when you've forgotten why you started the journey in the first place. Every word they spoke seemed to land with an uncanny precision, striking chords deep inside me that I thought had long gone silent. It was unnerving, yet strangely comforting. It was like they could see right through the walls I had so carefully built around myself. "Who are you?" I finally asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Just a fellow traveler," they said, with a slight, enigmatic smile. "Someone who knows what it's like to be caught in the rain." They paused, then continued. "We spend so much time looking for the big, shining lighthouse to guide us home. We often miss the small lanterns people are holding out for us along the path." I thought about that. All the friends I'd pushed away, the family I'd stopped calling, the small lanterns I'd ignored, convinced my darkness was too great to be illuminated. "I think my lantern's gone out," I admitted, the confession heavy in the air. "A flame is never truly gone," the stranger countered gently. "Sometimes it just needs a little shelter from the wind, a little help to burn brightly again. It needs to be reminded of its own warmth." They reached into their coat pocket and pulled out a small, intricately carved wooden box. It looked ancient, the wood dark and smooth with age. With a click, they opened it. Inside, nestled on a bed of velvet, was not a jewel or a trinket, but a single, perfectly formed, unlit match. "This," they said, holding it out to me, "is an invitation." I stared at it, confused. An invitation to what? To find a place where sparks are nurtured, a place where lost flames are rekindled. Their eyes twinkled with a mysterious light. "It's not a grand lighthouse. It's more of a quiet hearth," a gathering of embers, a place called the Embers Collective. The name was strange, poetic. It resonated with everything they had just said. How? How does it work? I asked. My curiosity piqued, a tiny flicker of something warm starting to kindle inside my chest. It wasn't hope, not yet, but it was the absence of utter despair. You take the first step, they said, their smile widening slightly. They held out a small, plain business card along with the matchbox. On it was just an address, a place not far from where we were sitting in, a single sentence. Bring a story to share. That's it, I asked, taking the card in the box. The wood felt surprisingly warm to the touch. That's it. The door is always open to those who are ready to listen and to those who are ready to be heard. You don't have to carry your story alone. Sometimes, sharing its weight is the first step to setting it down. The stranger then looked up at the sky as if sensing a change. The rain is letting up. My path leads elsewhere tonight. With a nod, they began to turn away. Wait, I called out, a sudden urgency gripping me. I don't even know your name. They paused and looked back over their shoulder, their silhouette once again framed by the city's glow. You can call me the Lamplighter. And with that, they stepped out from under the bus shelter and melted back into the night, leaving me alone with the quiet hum of the city, the damp chill in a tiny wooden box in my hand. I sat there for a long time, the rain slowly tapering off to a gentle drizzle. I looked at the card, then at the box, an invitation, a match, a story to share. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, a genuine, unforced question formed in my mind, not born of despair, but of curiosity. What if, I went, opening the box, I looked at the single, promising matchstick. It wasn't a roaring fire, not a blinding light. It was just a tiny sliver of wood and potential. But as I sat there, in the quiet aftermath of the storm, it felt like more than enough. It felt like a start. If you've ever felt lost in your own storm, remember that sometimes help comes in the most unexpected forms. It might not be a mysterious stranger with a magic box, but it could be a friend's text, a kind word from a colleague, or the courage to reach out for professional help. The most important thing is to be open to those small lanterns. If you're struggling, please know there are resources available, people who want to help you find your spark again. You are not alone. Thank you for watching.